to get, as you said, a small break from all the crazy stunts that have been going on the seeds so far in the tournament. I don't know. A blue cane start would be interesting.
Well, we do know that the sword is off the table because otherwise we would have seen Uncle holding it when he walks out of the house, and we only found some cash. It was a very quick map check. I didn't see which pendant, but I saw a pendant in Eastern, and I think 2 crystals on the other 2 dungeons.
Yeah, I think I checked the wrong screen, so I didn't manage to catch this, but maybe our tracker will have been able to do this. So, one of our runners, the rush, is nearing the ankle, brain as well, and it's a
What?
standard begin.
What? Okay. Normally,
Yeah.
Uncle holds a sword when he walks out, and has a sword.
Used to. This has been changed with
Oh!
the latest changes in the randomizer, so that it's really
Oh.
random and you can't tell anything from the beginning.
Alright, well, my bad then. I thought that was still the case, but I must have missed that part in the patch notes. Well, learning by doing, I guess. So we have a sword start. Probably one of the easiest starts, because you don't have to worry about ammunition or magic.
And you also have a bigger hitbox than a hammer start. But yeah, all runners, they will be looking for some bombs in order to get the 3 last chests of this escape beginning. Let's hope for them that it's gonna be quick and easy.
Yeah. Also, they can, if they so desire, farm bombs. We find 300 rupees here in the first chest, so money is probably not going to be much of an issue.
Well, at least that will promise them an easy start in Kakariko, because they'll be able to afford the bottle vendor as well as buying some bombs from the vendor straight from the beginning. A welcome sight indeed.
Yeah. And of course, some chunk for Zora as well, should that come into play.
Oh, I certainly hope it will come into play.
Right, a little bit more money here in the next chest. Not very lucky so far in the runners.
Yeah, thankfully for them, back in the sewers, they will be able to kill a lot of different enemies. We just hope for them that the bombs will be part of a loot pool, because every type of enemy has its own loot pool that has been randomized. So if they are unlucky, they won't be able to get any bombs, but that's not what we hope for them.
Yeah. Let's see what Salva is holding in her chest. Just some arrows.
Well, we'll be able to shoot a lot of arrows as soon as we get the bow.
We could throw them at people. If only.
So, because they didn't get any mirror yet, our runners will have to do the slow and painful walk back to the beginning of the castle and then head for the sewers.
And hopefully pick up some bombs on the way there so they can open up the back of escape. Or alternatively, I guess the boots would also work, but actually it can't be the boots because they have to find a key in Dark Cross. Never mind me.
Alright, so far no bombs, 340, 350 rupees for all of our people, 20 to 25 arrows, but yeah, these bombs, we're still waiting for them.
Let's hope the rats or snakes have some. Oh, very lucky here for Zero Rush. Sadly, Gawain did not get this bomb.
Yes, small magic refills are good, but oh, it just got one. So
Oh,
it's saved as well. Now we'll just check for two other runners. Link Force also managed to get one, but Eyeless still looking for one. Or
no,
oh no,
actually,
it
he just got one.
just got it. Perfect. So all of our runners will be able to check the free chest in the back. And if they don't find any bombs on the way, I'm sure they will make their way to the bottle vendors first things first in Kakariko Village.
Indeed. Right, so almost synced here on both Buen's and Zero Rush's screens. Let's see what the back of Escape holds for us. Oh, all bombs, the map, and a heart piece, which means the Sanctuary chest also will have an item for us. And Zero Rush decides, I have so many bombs, I may as well bomb up the top door here.
Yeah, now they'll be able to keep most of their rupees back in Kakariko Village. Maybe they'll hope also progression, of course, but they'll also hope for maybe some money so that they can get a quick Zora out of the way. But yeah, let's first see what our last chest here has to offer. Perfect sync almost. And it's
The vanilla
vanilla.
The vanilla Sanctuary heart. Very nice here. So our runners are going to make their way into Kakariko. Let's see if we'll... Okay, there's a full map check here. I think it was the green pendant on Eastern. And two regular crystals on Taotera and Desert. So...
So, and maybe we'll get from Zero Rush an Aganim check. Bwain himself is going straight for the Lost Woods. The triple, nothing much. Nothing that we'll miss.
Yeah, nothing that... Oh, but bombs on the bush trap. I mean, if we hadn't gotten those 10 bombs, that would have been nice, but... Let's see here. Aghanim, just a heart piece. So...
Even if we have to drag him, there's no way our runners will go back to the Lumberjack Cave later on. And
Yeah.
the Lost Woods, basically not much in there. I think it was 20 rupees in the fifth side out. So yeah. Let's hope for our runners that Kakariko will be a bit more stacked. But Bwain is directly doing a divergence and heading straight for the South Shore.
That's
And
interesting.
Eyeless as well, actually. Eyeless is already in the
In
cave.
Minimuldum cave, yeah, but
and getting a
it's
death.
death here.
Oh, that hurts.
Zero Rush just spurns that red rupee there and just jumps around it. Finds a 20 rupee triple here as well in the Lost Woods.
And our first Swarm chest only having 20 rupees, so still waiting for some progression here at the moment. Except dipping Eastern, there's nothing that our runners might do apart from other world locations.
Yeah. So attempt number 2 here for Illus's Minimuldum cave.
Meanwhile, only 50 rupees on the swamp's water, so runners gonna take this, of course, because they still need to get the 500. Bottle in Kakariko.
Very convenient bottle. Minimuldum, meanwhile, has the Cane of Samaria, the Moon Pearl, the Blue Mail, a bunch of cash, and a heart container. Wow, that was actually a pretty stacked Minimuldum cave, all things considered.
Minimuldum is the new hype cave.
Yeah. Interesting, we're also seeing an Agino check here from Buain. And it's the Flippers!
So logical Zora access, as well as the ferry from the Lake Alia. I guess he will soon do this as well.
Yeah, the Flipper checks are probably going to be after, like, I would say the routing is probably going to be Minimuldum into Ice Rod, and from there he will swim to Hobo.
Meanwhile, in the well, we got our Master Sword already.
Yeah.
That doesn't bode well for our runners. I think chat already knows what that might mean.
Yeah, we're a lamp away from a certain wizard package. Let's hope that's not the case for the runners. Sometimes the seed just likes to fake you out and like oh no, I'm not gonna have to do Aghanim, right? And then you get what you need.
Yeah, and sometimes you get unlucky and you get to see where Aghanim is painted on the wall from the beginning, and you just are looking all the time for the lamp.
Right, so we have a convenient sick hit check here. From Blind's Hideout, we get the bottle and can go straight up, tie that in. Sadly, only a heart piece.
Meanwhile, Isla's also going for the Aginas play, which is quite unusual. Most of the time, runners like to put that aside. He hasn't been to Kakariko yet, and is already checking really out of locations. A gamble in this case that pays off with an item that might be required.
Yeah. We're gonna see Ice Rock here on Buen's side. I didn't see what was in the library there.
Nothing much, just arrows, and our runners have plenty already.
And a bit of cash there on the race game. We're probably not gonna pick that up. And Link First is gonna try and do the chicken clip, misses it.
So my guess is Bwain will either now go south or he'll go straight for eastern, but no, he didn't. Guess he didn't realize. Okay, he's going south, so he's gonna check the Lake Ailia item.
Just some rupees up there. I think like he saw that 5 rupee drop and wanted to pick it up, so he is a bit closer to Zora money, and he already is very close to it. So
Exactly, and with flippers so early, they'll also route surely the Zoa and the ferry check. It's 4 items for them for progression. Hobo having nothing on his side. So yeah, 4 items for progression, and there is quite a high chance that one of his chests might hold some rupees, as most of the chests until now have done. Otherwise, it'll just farm 1 or 2 enemies and should get his 12 rupees quite fast.
Link Force opting to do a blind race game here. Probably will pick up those 50 rupees already there. Might as well get close to Zora.
And we get our first pair of gloves.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Gloves means they can sequence break up Death Mountain.
Also means there are only another pair of gloves or a hammer away from silvers.
Ooh, yeah.
And Wayne didn't want to check them.
I think
maybe he's gonna plan later to get his
Yeah.
his 500 rupees and go to Zora and do both at the same time. But interesting.
Yeah, I think that is gonna be his play. Because you can't really do anything with the silvers right now anyway, so you might as well let them lie there and come back to it when you have the money for Zora. So I think that is the logic here. And Buane is coming into Kakariko from the south end here.
So all of our runners making checks right now, what we've seen on the other screens. But I think we'll soon either dip Eastern Palace and also check maybe what Saraswala has for us, or, as you said earlier, do a sequence break to Death Mountain. It's one of the easier sequence breaks that you can do. The route is almost straightforward and just a bit muscle memory. But they won't have much either if they go there, because currently they could only get the Old Man item, which would be a break of logic, and the item inside Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, plus the hint first.
Yeah, about these hints. I'm not sure if the hints in this seed will be valuable. I've got my fair share of hints that were dubious, to say the least, and there weren't in green. But yeah, maybe they'll get some interesting hints that would indicate useless items on left side Swamp or Maya. Who knows?
Yeah. The left side swamp end is always good to find, as well as the boots location. I think those two are the guaranteed hints that you can get left side swamp end boots. I'm not sure if there's another one that always appears.
Interesting to see. We see Zero Rush not having gotten his flippers, taking advantage of the moon pearl glitch in order to go inside this area. He now can check Zora, but being so late, so he's gonna get Zora's item, but I'm not sure if he'll come back for his arrows, his silver arrows, as it is quite a detour to make.
Yeah, I think that should Catfish be a check that Zero Rush makes, and he may have to mirror at that point, that he might mirror over and pick them up when he's already in the area, but otherwise, I'm not sure he'll pick them up.
So you've put 518 rupees into the bank, and it's gone.
Yeah, the returns on Zora not particularly great.
So we now have Link Force going to Saraswata, is gonna check these 3 items. Zero Rush on his tail, going as well to Eastern.
Indeed.
And we've got Dark World Access and Hammer and the Flute. Well, hello there, Saraswata. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, that's a pretty good item collection there. So Aghanim, we're not gonna have to do him. That's relieving. Looks like Bowain has gotten his 500 rupees and is making their way back to Zora. Probably will pick up the silvers at this point.
So meanwhile, go
ahead. All right. So what's interesting is that Zero Rush now has full Dark World access, and checking Agina is not very likely. So Zero Rush is gonna be, if the flippers are gonna be required, is gonna be looking for them quite a while, I imagine, because Agina is not a check you do very often. Linkfur is still on the lookout for their gloves, though.
Yeah, what would help Zero Rush in this case would be if a hint told him where flippers are, or if a hint told him that a unique item is held by someone friendly. So Bwain got his silver arrows now, and we've got Link Force checking the desert ledge, just hard.
And
so maybe pick that later. Zero Rush on his side going Dark World access from the western side.
Link Force, no, not Link Force, sorry. Link Force is picking up his flippers, but Ilos went into the waterfall of wishing and tried checking out what the bottle had. And if you remember, the first bottle had a bee. Well, the fairy put a bee inside there. And our other pendants are going to be Thieves Town and Mired, Red Crystal Skull Woods, and I think it was Ice Palace. And yeah.
So while the flippers are definitely required because of Ice Palace, it's still...
And Swamp Palace.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. The flippers are definitely needed because no way to glitch yourself out of Swamp Palace.
Yeah.
So first item of Skullwoods being 300 rupees, which is actually great after being scammed by Zora, because now you have all the money needed for the latest games you will have to do, like the digging game, the chess game, and also paying our cutest extortionist Kiki the Monkey.
Yep, that is correct. And let's not forget I think it was 10 rupees you have to pay for the Smiths. Wow.
Okay, Zero Rush getting bullied by the mini Moldorms. Is that a hint at a very trolly Mordom today?
Possibly. And looks like Bowain is going to go for the Hype Cave right off the bat upon finding their hammer.
I'm personally a bigger fan of starting the western route because you can check all of Fifth Town and then go your south counterclockwise route. But yeah, getting 5 items right off the bat may enable you to go straight on to some dungeons and not only Fifth Town. Because currently all 4 runners in the Crescent would only be able to do Fifth Town. We get our first shield from the Sea House.
Truly amazing. A book here from the Hype Cave NPC that might come into play.
Yeah, apart from a book, nothing noteworthy into the Hype Cave. I like Mini Moldon Cave better, as of late, almost always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the book, finding the book before going to Skull Woods is certainly useful because you can route in a pet check should you find a mirror there. So that is good, and of course the tablets as well. So once we get up Death Mountain, and looks like Bowain is gonna head that way, sequence breaking through the dark rooms to rescue the old man. Oh, and I stand corrected. The red crystal is not in Ice Palace, but in Pod. Ice Palace is a regular crystal.
So meanwhile, we've got Zero Rush dipping Fifth Town. With the hammer now, he can fully clear the dungeon, and that's also good that he got a hammer because we already got the small key. So a check of the big chest will be necessary, I guess. I think there weren't any items yet in this early part of Fifth Town, so a full clear will be needed here.
I only saw the compass in the first chest. I'm not sure what was the second. And looks like indeed Bowain is gonna make their way up Death Mountain here, picking up the Spectacle Rock item and hint. Just a single rupee.
Let's hope the hint is more worthy. Oh, that's it was as much worth as the loot that was before it.
Oof, yeah, that is I mean, hadn't he checked Mini Moldrum Cave at that point yet?
Meanwhile, Zero Rush got a better hint inside Fifth Town. Some bombs are above the pose, so we won't need to do a graveyard ledge check, so which is quite a time gain for our runners, or at least for Zero Rush. The graveyard ledge is one of the further away locations that's quite hard to route when you get the mirror quite late in the seed.
And it looks like Bowain is gonna go and check Desert before making their way into Dark World.
Interesting choice, because basically he can't finish this dungeon. He needs a fire source, and if it's bootlocked, he can't get most of the items inside.
Indeed. But at least the right side is not bootlocked. So that's 2 item locations.
Theoretically, it's never bootlocked because you can always get a small key from the boss area.
Yeah.
Which is a break of logic in itself, but yeah, it's not bootlocked at all. We saw only a small piece of heart on the torch and a useless hint, but intended useless hint.
Yeah, you can tell by the green text and the little link face that it's supposed to be a troll nonsense hint. There's the big key, and There's one more item left here in Desert. Let's see if it's gonna be in La Molas. No, it is not. It is the mushroom. Interesting.
And we
It's a
find
lamp.
the lamp inside Thieves Town.
Meanwhile, Link Forest is making their way to Catfish. Interesting play here. Very early on, Catfish. I assume they also checked the pyramid, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, with all of our runners going to different directions, it's quite hard to focus on screens.
Michael K., one of our trackers here, pointing out that indeed the pyramid did not have anything good. Let's see if Catfish does. Probably not. Oh, it's Ether. Okay, that might be good. And, oh, looks like Buin is setting up the fake powder glitch. Just a piece of heart out of blind and the red pennant, of course. And just some cash there. Oh well.
So my guess is that Buen is now gonna flute straight away to the old witch and give her the mushroom, now that he's got his only other use of the item out of the way.
Yeah.
The chess game, nothing inside, just $20. It's getting a bit complicated now for progression.
Yeah. What's interesting though is that some of these items that may or may not be required, may or may not for Ether, but that may not be required, at least in the case for that is required. Sorry, for the flippers, are kind of out of the way.
We've got vanilla powder.
That Buin not too happy about that because they just fake powdered and used up all of their magic just to be rewarded with the powder.
Maybe it was a warning from the seed. Stop breaking logic.
Yeah. So maybe signs of what is to come still. Meanwhile, we're gonna see Skull Woods being checked here, the front part by Link Force, while Zero Rush is doing some digging here. Just finds 20 rupees.
Yeah, so I don't know for you, but for me, it sounds like a forced, bowless, mirrorless pod dip.
Never fun.
Indeed. Well, they've got a bottle, so they could use the glitch in order to access the bowlock side of pod, but there's no way they can finish the dungeon, except if the bow were to be in the accessible section of pod. But let's check what our winners are gonna go next. Oh, and chat pointing out as well, no one dipped Eastern Palace yet.
That is true, yeah. Of course, having found a lamp in Peacetown, Zero Rush and Illos are going to be able to complete Desert Palace.
Indeed. So, but we already found both items inside, correct?
Yeah, that is true. But it is a crystal, so yeah, and looks like Zero is making their way straight to Desert. Sadly, won't find anything particularly interesting in there, except for the mushroom, which will lead to the powder. Neither of which, it's not required. It's a good safety to have. It's probably my favorite safety item in the game, but it's absolutely not required.
Meanwhile, a nice fight from Ilus. Also getting his red pendant.
Indeed. Buin making their way into Thieves Town now, and is going to get their lamp very shortly, and probably the red pendant as well.
So yeah, all of our runners are now going to locations that we've already seen from the other screens. So basically, progressions now could be either in Eastern Palace or in Pod. No access to the Eastern Death Mountain area as of yet. Catfish has been checked. So yeah, it's Pod or Eastern.
Yep, you're right. Has to be Potter Eastern. There's no other option currently that we haven't seen across the 4 runners here on stream. And I would argue Eastern probably a bit of a more sane play, but perhaps Bod Pod is Bullocked. So who knows?
Yeah, it might be interesting to check if our runners will buy themselves a potion before heading to there, just in case it's locked, so that they could use the glitch. But yeah, what do you think might come next as a progression item?
Well, that is a good question. It can be. I mean, for the runners, I would like it to be the boots. But it might just be the fire rod or the hook shot.
Yeah, I think the worst item they could get from these locations would be the Titansmith, because that was Scream going to Misery Mire, which is also a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would be an item you wouldn't want to find. That said, Mids also open up a lot of other locations. Mids would open up the Smith Chain, as well as Darknet Mountain. So I don't know. It can't open.
Not yet. Not yet.
Yeah,
they would need either the mirror or the hookshot.
Or the hookshot. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
So let's hope for a hookshot for them. So Zero Rush taking care of Landmolas. No bow, no silvers yet. No fire or ice rod, so he's got to it the old way. But get it nice and, let's say, quick for a master sword clear. And gets at the 32 minutes mark his first crystal.
Indeed, the first crystal on the stream even. What is interesting is that Illos picked up a green potion. Perhaps Illos is kind of like getting the vibe that potion glitch might be something they have to do. So.
And Zero Rush, after having cleared Desert Palace, is heading straight for Agina, so he'll get also his flippers. Let's see if he then later on goes on to get his silvers. But yeah, currently otherwise, not much new happening on screen. Bwain clearing blind, having at the moment a nice, almost on-script fight. Really good kill. Doesn't get a single hit.
Yeah, Bwain took absolutely no damage here.
And Zero Rush going straight to Pod.
I'm not sure. Did Zero Rush pick up the a potion?
I don't think so.
Well, perhaps Zero Rush is hoping that Pod is Bullocked and doesn't hold any significant progression beyond that first chest.
Yeah, Zero Rush went straight to Pod after his desert clear. Didn't even bother turning the mushroom in, so no way for him to get a potion as of now.
Interesting play.
He might be hoping for a bow in the first chest. Well, let's see what the first chest has to offer.
The big key. Well, well, well. And Blaine, I think, is just realized he doesn't have the bow and no potion.
Yep, so let's see if he goes buy some potions or if he goes deep Eastern Palace.
Brings out the flute. Ah, okay, Zero Rush as well is gonna do the fake powder before heading in the mushroom. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the play itself makes sense. We know that it's not the best play because of, well,
The results, yeah.
what's indeed. But yeah, I would have done exactly the same in his case, or in the case
Yeah,
of
same.
Gwen as well. I expect maybe a few slashes there.
Yeah, the bat having money, it's like not unexpected, but then you hand in the mushroom and find that there's powder. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rage slash or two as a result. And looks like Link Force actually took a death to blind here. Opts to not try for it again, which we know is not the wrong play. Only a heart piece on blind, so and like getting to blind is reasonably quick. So if should the red pendant be required, it's not going to be that much of time loss. And
Zero Rush getting, I guess, a bit upset over his new gotten powder. Yep, few slashes. But he bought a powder. He bought a potion. So let's see what he's gonna get. And we've got Bwain that's going to attempt the potion glitch. We also saw really useless hint
yeah,
from Pod with iGem at Sasrala's hut. Thanks, game. We never went there before.
gets the potion glitch here.
So what's going on is that Bwain drank a potion as he was walking and hugging the wall towards the door to the Mimic's room, so that he deregulated the camera, he unlocked the camera, and the game considers that when all the enemies on screen are off screen, it's as if they were dead. And so the door opens.
Right,
Meanwhile,
and
Ida's fighting Lanmolas. Boy making his progression inside of Pod is gonna check the two front chests.
indeed, we found two keys on the right side, on the Bullock side here. We know that, according to key logic, there has to have to be at least 4 small keys in the front side here. And if you find 2 items, can be dungeon items or whatever, and it is 2 items indeed, you know that I think the Harmless Hellway must have a key now, so you can't lock yourself out. You can skip that chest. And this should be a key, exactly. Oh,
and
that
Wade
red.
getting bullied, but yeah,
Yeah.
he's just gonna reset his room so that he doesn't get any problem with his red. How do you call them again, these enemies?
They're called helmet beetles, I believe.
How original.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's more hard. Yeah, hard hat beetles. That's right. Hard hat, not helmet beetles. I mean, same difference since a hard hat is kind of a helmet, but yeah.
Okay, so
Right
far
now.
pod not being the play, but we still have five chats coming or six. But yeah, just some love, another key. So yeah, I think now by logic, the Homo Selway has to have a key. But when I run this game, I always check it anyway.
Yeah, I kind of do as well. But obviously, might as well not pick it up. Uh,
Okay, so we've got both compass and the map, I think, in the dungeon. So Helmazor
yeah,
will have an item to be sure.
that is correct. Yeah. And Zero Rush picking up their ether here, and just 20 rupees in the big chest. So Pod has been a bust completely. Wait, where is he deaf? Oh, he's deaf.
Buen is death warping, yeah. I think it's gonna go route in the pyramid as well as Catfish straight after.
Yeah.
And Zero Rush, meanwhile, is heading to Eastern, which I think has to be the play now because I think we've exhausted all of our other options. Let's see what this dungeon has to offer for us.
Well, it has to have progression. And even if it's just the fetch quest item, like the shovel, it still may end up being. If that is the only thing we get out of here, then the shovel spot will have the progression.
Yeah, but I wonder how our runners will feel when they find progression inside Eastern, because they've got access to Eastern since the beginning, except logically for the big key chest room. So, I mean, it's not a really great feeling to find items in one of the first available locations. We know that none of our runners on screen did this, but as a runner, you never know what your opponents did, and as a runner, most of the time, you just think, okay, if it's an easy step, if it's the optimal step, I have to think that my opponents did this.
Eastern blessing us with everything that we don't really want to see here in the first few chests already.
Or I do. I know that our runners don't, but I want to see them suffer a bit.
So we found all 3 dungeon items before we got a single item, which does mean. Okay,
that the boss will also have the Armor's Knights will have an item as well. So
yeah, I just
forced double dip.
Indeed, I also I stopped. I was about to say this, but then I saw Zero Rush reading the hint in Eastern, and the big key is in the tile room. The big key of Hera is in the tile room. So that one is going to be required for all of our runners.
Yep, coffee breaks time 4.
All right, let's see what the and there's the hook shot.
Okay, so let's go to Is Death Mountain now.
Yeah, hidden deeply in the bowels of Eastern Palace. It's starting to look like a very linear seed at this point. Because apparently we're gonna have our progression like hidden one item after another.
Well, owners could have done Eastern earlier on, and they might have gotten a few items there to have opened the seed like 15 minutes ago, but the way they all routed it, it is indeed linear because they all bottleneck themselves to the last location being eastern.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them for that because basically it's an item, it's an area you can't go to directly, or you can't finish this dungeon, so you keep it for later. Paradox Cave, first 2 chests, money and some love, nothing much.
Zero Rush really doesn't have a good time with these mini Moldorms today. Has another bottle with a B, just what we needed. Thanks, game. Some boots. Oh, so our next progression is gonna be boots locked apparently.
Or we also have access to Hera now with the hammer. And
Oh,
because
yeah,
we've got the
that's
fire
true.
source, it's fully clearable. So, and they also, because of, or thanks to the book, they also have the ether tablet. So it's opened up a bit right now. But yeah, you want Eastern Death Mountain, you're already up top, you're gonna go check the rest.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what the ether tablet has for us today. Nothing.
I always forget how many red rupees there are in this game. I always think, yeah, we've seen enough, we won't see any more of the game, and every time I'm let down.
Alright, so here's our small key, and we know that the big key is gonna be in the basement. So that's actually vanilla location for both keys. Some cash. Wow, that's a very useful hint there, game. Some cash
Hint
and get
of the
it.
year. Hint of the year. Thanks to this hint, is going to be able to be so fast, so much faster into Ganon's Tower.
Looks like Zero Rush decides not to bother with the coffee break.
So we've got meanwhile Eyeless and Bwain both into Eastern, so they'll soon head also to Eastern Death Mountain. Link Force meanwhile is heading to Pod first, so he's gonna lose a bit of time on this check, but I mean, you can't blame him. It has more items, more chests than Eastern, so it's the one you do first. You always hope to get a mirror there as well, but yeah, we know how it will pan out.
There's a big key. Zero Rush forgot to set up a death warp, so has to take the long walk back out. Luckily, all of our runners will find that hint about the big key in Hera, so they can mentally prepare having a coffee break.
So Link Force set a death warp here, but I mean, don't really understand this one because it didn't have that much to walk back. Let's see. Okay, it's just now saved and quit. Okay, so no Godmire. Should our runners need to go to Mr. Maya? We just got the hint that the big key is fire locked. And we also got our Titan's Mitts.
Wait, we did?
Yeah, we just did get them in.
Oh, I didn't see the
chest.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
first
I didn't.
chest of Era, the top one.
Yeah, I didn't see the. I didn't see that chest. Like I saw only the hint. Right. So mitts and I think there was the map out of the big chest. The Moldorm has the second item.
And the mids are actually on a really good place for him because he'll be able to do the Spiral Cave and route straight after that the Dark Death Mountain bit. With Hookshot, he'll also be able to check the not Spike Cave, the Hookshot Cave.
Hookshot Cave, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the full equipment for that now, so we're gonna see a bit more of Eastern Death Mountain.
Indeed. But Zero Rush decides to open up the portal to Turtle Rock? Is he gonna just open it, or he's gonna take it? He's skipping Spiral Cave. Bombo's here for Turtle Rock. Interesting. I would have expected Zero Rush to go Spiral Cave first to the bottom of Eastern Death Mountain, then walk up with Super Bunny Cave into Hookshot Cave. And then there's the bow in Super Bunny Cave here.
Yep, so now Eastern can be finished, Pod can be fully completed, so Eastern being the green planet, I'm not sure if Foreigners will head back in, but I mean, I think they'll head first for the dungeon they can fully complete, the crystal ones.
Yeah, that Hookshot Cave did not pay off. Let's hope for Zero Rush that Spiral Cave doesn't have anything useful in it. And looks like Zero Rush decide, now that I have the bow, I can complete Pod. We know that Pod doesn't have anything of value in it, except maybe an Helmasaur. We haven't seen that one yet.
I think they already got all the dungeon items on their way to the back, so there should be one last item.
But Zero Rush doesn't know that because Zero Rush didn't do the potion glitch.
Oh yeah.
Zero Rush only dipped into the first chest. And since chat is asking, the silver arrows were on the Zora ledge.
Okay, so while Zero Rush is now gonna make his full clear of Pod, we see two of our runners still into the Hera Tower. And Link Force is doing on his side, is a bit behind, but not that far, doing his Eastern Mountain check. What could our runners do after Pod?
Complete Eastern. Armor's Knights has an item still.
Plus the Green Pendant?
Exactly, that's two items there. Since we don't have Fire Rod or Bombos, we can't get into Turtle Rock, nor Ice Palace, nor the backside of Skull Woods. We don't have the Mare for Swamp.
But we might have access. There's 33% of chance that we have access to Misery Maya.
That is true. Yeah, there is a chance that we can get into Mire, but
if we can get into it, we can fully complete it, and we can also fully complete Eastern Palace.
But we do know that the big key of Meyer is gonna be on the firelock side, so that's either on the spiky room with the Stalfos or the cutscene chest. And at that point, I would see Easton's probably a bit faster to clear.
But with Eastern Palace being fully completable and Mr. Meyer potentially fully completable as well, depending on which medallion is needed, that would open one location that chat really likes.
Yeah, chat is a big fan of that location. We don't know what is on there yet because nobody has checked the pedestal yet, and probably won't unless we find a fire rod and the mirror, so we can conveniently route it in with Skullwoods. And down goes King Helmasaur, holding...
For 20 rupees.
Wow, so there was absolutely nothing in Pod. Not a single useful item.
Pod was the perfect go mode dungeon, and I don't think any of our runners was able to go mode it.
Yeah. I think 2 of them, maybe even 3. I know Buane and I think Illos did the potion glitch. I'm not sure if Link first did.
Link Force didn't do it. Link Force got the first chest and then saved and quit.
Ah, right. Okay, so... but still, like, since there's many items in here, looks like Seer Rush also deciding to full clear it anyway. And we're finally gonna see what is in Spiral Cave. Alright, Spiral Cave, what do you have for us today? The red boomerang.
The worst boomerang. Well, Zerosh is not going to miss it, but this location might haunt him, especially as he won't find any progression in here.
Exactly. Yeah, at this point, there's not that many locations left that we can check even. There's the Smith chain, which without a mirror is kind of a pain. And
we also have Bonk Rocks as well as King's Tomb.
That is true, yeah. The Boots locations, the Sanctuary, and of course Meyer.
The Misery Maya Shed?
Yeah, Meyer Shed with Misery Maya as well, and yeah, Eastern.
Well, we don't know yet for Misery Maya.
Yeah, that is true. Ether might not be the medallion for Meyer. That is correct.
Idus gets his bow. And we've got Buane also going straight for Almazor.
I mean, it makes sense. It's a 5/6 crystal, and you definitely know that there's an item on there. So there's really no...
Interestingly, he didn't go into Tower of Herazov yet.
He did, because he got the mitts.
Oh, yeah, indeed. And I just said like 5 minutes before that both him and another runner were in here. I'm gonna get some more water.
Alright, so Buane making their way to Helmasaur King. And Link first getting knocked off here by a Moldorm. Ouch.
I didn't quite catch what was on the Maya medallion. Did chat have maybe a better look at it than me?
I didn't see it either, sadly. But there's
And
a
we've got
Tempered Sword in my shed.
Bacon.
Given the fact that Zero save and quit there, I assume it was not Ether. Ah, Quake, apparently according to chat. Thank you, chat. So Meyer is out of the question as well, which means we have Kingstomb and Bonk Rocks, and then we'll have to get back into Eastern, apparently. Oh, this is looking very much like a double dependent Eastern. That is painful. Oh, I saw Bonkrok's there on Illus's side. I think that must have been rubbish. Both are empty. Thank you, chat. Yeah. Yeah, so required double dependent Eastern is the play. That is ridiculous.
And even then, Eastern might not have anything of value, and our runners will have to go to Sarsaparilla to get to get the last part of progression they need.
I mean, they're gonna do it anyway because they're already there and have the green pendant. So right after clearing Eastern, but yeah, that is. Oh, looks like Zero Rush instead of going for Eastern is gonna make the check and see. Oh no! Wait, what? What is he? What is Zero Rush doing? Oh, the Smith chain. That's right. Totally forgot about the Smith chain.
As well as the pet cave also. Yeah, I think Zero Rush is like, I've double dipped enough things, let me just get something on a normal location.
Yeah. Yeah, we have combined 3 locations here.
And another red rupee. Oh god.
Wow, there's so many red rupees in this seed, it's ridiculous. All of the runners except for Linkverse have over 1,000 rupees. So, looks like Zero is going to look and see if the Smiths have anything of value.
Well, the silver lining in not having the mirror is that all of our runners have the flute, so they'll spare some time by fluting directly to the locations they need. But yeah, having the mirror would have made everything so much faster.
Yeah. So we can and yeah, I think it was Quake.
Chat Tempered was in the Maya shed.
Yeah, Boolean is about to pick it up here. And Silver Arrows were on the Zora Ledge. That is also a question here. Let's see what the dwarves have for us today. Please have something good. It's not something good.
Well, for me, it's something good.
Yeah, that I guess for chat, it's good. So the only locations we haven't seen yet are the purple chests and
Eastern or Green Pendant.
Yeah, that is the 3 possible locations here.
And Buen is going straight for Eastern.
Buen is going straight for Eastern, while we will see the purple chest on Zero Rush's side here. I think Buen is kind of getting this feeling, this unshakable feeling that Eastern double dip is going to be required. All right. Night Shifter, we cannot get to Bombo's tablet because we don't have the mirror.
Meanwhile, nice Elmazal fight from Iris, getting his 3rd crystal.
Right.
Force is gonna head up straight back to Elmazor to finish him off. A good item, but not the one Zero Rush wanted to see. Red mail on the purple chest.
Indeed.
This seed just keeps on giving.
Yeah, this is a pretty much chat seed, isn't it? Oof, yeah, this is really tough here.
I mean, wait for Saraswala or the Eastern Palace having the Quake medallion. I think the pet hype will be great then.
Yeah, the Zero Rush has since Zero Rush forgot to check Spiral Cave, they will have to go up and do this now and only get rewarded with rubbish.
Meanwhile, Dwayne having a blast of a fight against the Amos Knights. Chat. Sorry, chat.
This is a scene, man. Zero Rush not happy with this red pen stick he finds in the spiral cave. Is realizing now that it has to be an Eastern, I imagine.
Come on. Give me a Quake medallion. Give me a Quake medallion now. Oh, fire rod. So that unlocks now Ice Palace as well as the Swamp Palace.
No, not Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I mean Skullwoods. Sorry.
We are missing a mirror still for Swamp Palace.
Indeed. Semper Fire Dog, we all got a Lumberjack check and it was just rubbish. I think a piece of heart or 20 rupees.
Some cash in Mimic Cave, so should we still be looking for items when we get to Turtle Rock? We know that we can skip out on that one at least. Ice Palace is of course the play now. 3 items in here. Let's see what Ice Palace holds for us today.
20 rupees, because 20 rupees.
Yeah, that is 1 of 3 items. That means there's only 2 left. And if we find Quake in here, it's starting to look very likely that Pedestal might be something, or at least almost Pedestal.
My apologies to the runners. My guess is that they wanted to play a standard seed just to get something nice and easy, hopefully maybe a jet seed, but it looks like an old dungeon here.
And another green hint here in Ice Palace. And there's one more hint in the big room with the Pangators and bouncy pads, so we're probably going to see that one as well. Since this is going to be a full clear Ice Palace.
Yep, so Wayne setting up his bump jump here. Got it, nice.
Yeah. So for what the Pedestal could possibly have in terms of progression, Ice Rod, Bombos, or Mirror can all be on the pad, which are basically all the go mode items we have left. And the only items that cannot be on pad is the Quake Medallion, since we'll need that one for Meyer.
Speaking about items that might be on pad, did we get a bumper ledge check?
I think
because something might be hiding there, and cape might be also a relevant item.
Well, we didn't find the cape yet, but yeah, I don't think we've seen a bumper cape check yet. Oh, we did. Well, chat, what was on the bumper ledge then?
Second item, Cane of Burner. So chances for progression being in Ice Palace are getting thin. Julian in chat, Zero has checked Zora, but he faked Flipper at the time, so he wasn't able to get the items on Zora's ledge. Which were the flippers, the silvers.
Oh, and there's the third item, a bottle with some red potion in it. So Buane is gonna complete Ice Palace here, just beats Colts there. We found all 3 items, there's nothing left here. So it has to be either in Skullwoods. I'm not sure if we found both items. I know we found at least one of them. I'm not sure if we found both. It has to be in Skullwoods, or yeah, that's pretty much all there is. We haven't found Quake yet, so could be Quake, or could be the progression we need, which would be the mirror at this point. Or Bombos.
Worth noting, Skullwoods being the second 5-6 crystal, progression might also be on the Fat Fairy.
That is true, yeah. Right, so with Tempered Sword, Cold Stare isn't too bad, luckily. And Buane gets the Puffs cornered there for the most part. One manages to escape, but the other two go down very quickly, and so that's the third one. Very quick fight here. A key. We know that there couldn't be anything else in Cold Stare. So, down he goes. And I imagine the next step is going to be for Buane Skull Woods.
Well, I don't think they've got anything else left at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I guess could be in Spike Cave. We haven't seen a check of that one yet, I think.
Oh yeah, they've got all the items to access it, and for the logic, they've got 2 to 3 bottles. Also
And
with the
Berna.
blue cane. Yeah, exactly. Berna from Ice Palace. Yeah, so Spike Cave being full in logic. I mean, I'm mean to the runners, but I'm not that mean.
Yeah. Buane making a beeline here for Skullwoods. It makes a lot of sense to go for it. As you mentioned, it's a 5-6 crystal. You have to do it anyway, and I think there's still one item in there. I think we've only seen one of them. Helmasaur going down here for Link Force, and Illos found Fire Rod as well. So Illos also in Skull Woods here has not checked Ice Palace yet, though. I don't think that Buane is gonna do a pet check because there's no mirror. So depending on what is found in Skull Woods here. Oh, Link first. Let's see where Link first is going here. I think. Oh, Link first might be. Wait, what? Oh, the Bonk Rocks. Right. Okay. Link first never did the Bonk Rocks, right?
Yeah, he's gonna get disappointed as well.
Yeah, I mean, a heart container. You never score in that one, but you know. Right, so Macula with a Fire Rod and a Tempered Sword, pretty easy fight. Compass. And a Crystal. So nothing on here either in Skull Woods.
I missed it. Did he already check the other chest inside the back of Skullwood?
Well, I've missed it as well, but we'll see in just a second. Yes, he did.
Yeah, it did.
Looks like Buane is just thinking about what to do here before deciding to go to Link's house.
Yeah, it's gonna go now for the Fat Fairy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, at this point, it's actually the only option. Oh man, if the Fat Fairy has Quake, oof. So, if the Fat Fairy doesn't have anything, then it's
a Spike check. It's Spike Cave. Then.
Yeah, it's only Spike Cave left. Then, ooh, this turned out like standard, and like Star was a bit trolly, but it was alright. And now it's just pure malice here. It's like Disney villain level of evil.
Everything Chad could ask for.
Yeah.
So, and in 2 seconds, moment of truth, do we have to go to Spike Cave or not? And what's gonna be? A 4th bottle and 20 rupees.
Oh man.
And off we go.
If this has Quake, then I'm gonna laugh.
Oh,
Because
keep
that.
on saying this, please. Keep on saying this.
Oh man. I mean, given what we've seen in this seed so far, it has to be Quake, right?
Or better, a shovel that leads to Quake.
Well, at least the shovel wouldn't be like a long check like Spike Cave is. Oh boy, what a seed this is. All right, what item are we gonna have in here? It's
Bombos.
bombos.
So it's a dip inside Turtle Rock, and maybe require double dip if Turtle Rock has progression, but doesn't have the ice rod.
Yeah, Turtle Rock has to have progression at this point.
Like Quake?
Like Quake, yes. Could also be the mirror, of course. That's pretty much all we need. And we do know that Mimic Cave is not going to have an item, so there's going to be the 5 items in Turtle Rock only that we'll be seeing.
So Zero Rush also got is a Bombos medallion, also gonna make a break for Turtle Rock.
Ooh.
Yeah, this seed is not nice. Really not nice to our runners.
Yeah, Link first went to go for round 2 with Blind here. As Link first was, up until then, the only person who didn't complete Blind, having died on him. Finds out that that was a bust, sadly.
So Link Force will now have also to go back to Eastern Palace, but is going first for the Smith Chain.
A unique item is in Gannon Tower. Wow, thank
I
you.
would have never guessed that.
I mean, at this point, it can't really be that much left in Gannon Tower. I mean, it has.
Single arrow.
I think we've seen the single arrow. Oh, there's the mirror. Okay, all right.
So one ice rod away from Turtle Rock. So
And go mode.
Yes, I meant go mode. Sorry. So we've got Wayne choosing to stay inside T-Rock. My guess is gambling on T-Rock having also the ice rod. This way, would be able to simply go mode Swamp Palace. Let's see if Zero Rush will decide to do the same.
Right. So the unique item in Gannon Tower, other than the ice rod, can be anything. Might be the shovel, the blue boomerang, the cape, and that's all it can be. Or Quake, of course.
Okay, Zero Rush also deciding to stay inside T-Rock. We saw the right side of T-Rock had a small and big key, so progression lies further ahead.
Which also makes
All
T-Rock
bogus items.
fire. Which makes T-Rock also fire rod locked.
And Shad being evil, but entertainingly evil as well, as are just telling, hey, you know, Ice Rod could be on pedestal.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, Ice Rod can be anywhere that isn't Trinix or Ganon's Tower at this point. So Wayne, who has been using the Ryu from Street Fighter sprite here, the bunny sprite is Don, which is funny. It makes a lot of sense, though.
My favorite bunny sprite is when I use a Sonic sprite and get bunnied. I just transform
Yeah.
into Nintendo
Mario.
Super Mario.
Yeah. Right. So we're gonna see a full clear of TR in the hopes of finding the ice rod. We know the Mimic Cave is not going to be required, but we will see the big chest here in just a moment.
And my guess is full laser bridge as well, which,
Yeah.
thanks to the cane of Berna, is currently in logic.
Man, this seat has been bucks for the runners. So we know that this chest has to have a key. And... oh, interesting. Boy never did pick up the red boomerang from the Spiral Cave there.
So, and while Zero Rush and Brain are inside of T-Rock, we have Eyeless finishing Ice Palace soon, and Link Force, who is going to soon get his Fire Rod.
Indeed. Ooh,
and we are nearing Laser Bridge.
Alice has... oh, okay, has a potion, blue potion here. Thankfully. Was about to say has to look out. I think that means an item on Trinix. Oh, and there's the ice rod.
1 hour, 22 minutes, and 5 seconds, Bwain enters go mode by finding the ice rod.
Sorry, chat. No pedestal for you today.
We tried our best.
And on to Trinix we go. So, very quick fight here against Trinix on Bwain's side. Very clean. And Trinix goes down very fast, resulting in Bwain's 5th crystal. And a shield.
Yeah, so Zero Rush is soon gonna be on Trinix as well. Worth noting, Zero Rush will have then to finish Skullwoods and then Gomo Swamp Palace. Meanwhile, Bwain will have to Gomo Swamp Palace and finish Desert Palace.
Yeah. And since Bwain has cleared the front half of Desert and found Vicky, Bwain just needs to go to the backside, kill Molas, and then ascend Death Mountain once more. And looks like Bwain decides to go for Swamp first. Also worth noting is that Zero Rush never did pick up those silver arrows, which means that Bwain, although not that far in the lead right now, is still a bit ahead, just by virtue of having a silver Ganon.
Yeah, a lot of this will depend on the execution inside of Ganon's tower, as well as where the big key in GT is. But yeah, it looks quite good for Brain at the moment. But there are still a few dungeons to clear, the whole of GT, so anything could happen.
Yeah. But at this point, this is basically Boyne's race to lose here. And with a runner of Boyne's caliber, I would imagine that execution is going to be very solid.
Yeah, 13 hearts, tempered sword, and maybe he'll get also the buttered on its way to Ganon's tower. Enough bottles, the powder as well. It's got enough safeties, and having only the blue mail instead of the red mail won't make that much of a difference for him. As you said, runners of this caliber are well versed in the ways of defeating Ganon and everything that's on the way.
Yeah. So Zero Rush deciding to go for Skullwoods first. And meanwhile, we see Link Force taking down Mothula, getting their next crystal.
Okay, Bwain not even bothering opening any chest on the way, just going straight to Argus. Yeah, tempered. That's gonna be a quick fight.
Yeah, tempered, silver arrows. There's like no all 4 bottles, powder. There's really no big item left. Like maybe at most you hope to find the gold sword, but the gold sword also doesn't save a lot of time. Almost gets the 0 cycle here.
Okay, so Zero Rush, only 1 dungeon left before GT, but Bwain finishing Argus at the same time. Yeah, Bwain will have a quicker time going through Desert Palace. And as you said before, with him having the silvers, is basically he's got only advantages at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, also considering like if ice armors are required, that's going to be a faster fight for Buane. Lamola's 2 is going to be a faster fight for Buane if using silver arrow strats. And
meanwhile, Eyeless just left Turtle Rock after finding the mirror. It's actually not that. I would say it's not that bad of a play because you have to climb up to Turtle Rock anyway when going to GT. But yeah, he's gonna be looking everywhere for this ice rod.
And he may find Quake in Swamp here, which may lead him to Mire.
Please no. Either all of them go to Mire or none of them.
Yeah. Fact of the matter is though that well, Yellows will probably full clear Swamp here. Possibly even pick up the left side, depending on how many items are in here. And if Quake is in here somewhere, that would be a red herring, possibly leading Illos to try and their luck with Mire over Turtle Rock.
Yeah, as Chad points out, can't blame him for the decision. The seed has been such a troll. You can't expect an item required for a dungeon to be in the exact same dungeon. the biggest troll of this seed, like doing the thing you would never expect from it.
Yeah, it's like this seed has been such a troll that, you know, due to...
Okay, Wayne just got his 7th crystal. Is there anything that happens when the 7th crystal is gone?
Oh yeah, that's true. So here at the Speed Gaming network of channels, we like to play a game. We're not gonna play it with bot today, so no leaderboards. But we're gonna play the Ganon's Tower Big Key game. In Ganon's Tower, there's 22 item locations that possibly can have the Big Key to allow us to ascend the tower. And we're gonna count here on Boolean's end as he enters the tower. So,
what's your pick, Red?
well, whenever I commentate, I like picking Bob's chest because I just love Bob. What about you, Jillian?
I'll stick to 22.
Aw, man, after this seed?
Exactly after this seed. Especially after this seed. It's been trolly, and I think it won't stop, so I'm gonna go for 22.
You are diabolical today.
Well, for the runners, I hope I will lose my bet, but you never know.
Alrighties. So, Zero Rush taking down Argus is gonna make the ascent of up to Death Mountain. So, only shortly behind Bowen here. About a minute, I would say.
Yeah, 1 hour 31 minutes 32 seconds, and Buen enters. Oh, goes straight for left side. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be on a torch.
And Bob lives, because there's nothing we have to bonk off the torch here.
All hail Bob.
And Illos is on Argus as well. Still has to clear Turtle Rock.
So, just 2 to 5 now. Small key. That's Green's right side. Bombs. And chest number 5 with another 20 rubies.
And decides to mirror over to the right side here. Is he going to do Dark Magician strat? Kate and the first one, and another small key on the second chest here on this side. So that would be 6 and 7.
And they go past the big key, but they do not know it yet.
Right, so what does the right side hold for us? Boeing conserving some magic here using the lamp to light the torches. Ooh.
So 8, 9, 10. Big key in chest number 10.
Let's see here. The closest one was Night Shifter with 9. Congratulations. You get a free $1. You get a free $1 ticket for Coldstairs Creamery. Congratulations. You get either vanilla or chocolate ice cream. Your choice.
Okay, chat pointing out that Zero Rush is 1 minute 50 behind Bwayne, but he goes straight for the right side, so he's gonna make up some time because he'll find his big key faster. Will be interesting, but still difficult for Zero Rush not having the silvers.
Oh, and thank you very much, Michael K, gifting a sub to Night Shifter, our winner of the Big Key game. Yes, more than just the 10% off ticket for Coldstairs Creamery. Meanwhile, Boyne making their way up the gauntlet here.
Yeah, and Zero Rush now really not that far behind, having gotten his key quite faster. So depending on how the gauntlet goes, and especially the GT fight and the Ganon's fight. I mean, we all know how Ganon loves to hug. Things might still happen. The race is, for how true it was, still quite close.
Yeah, it's Buane's race to lose, really. It looks like Illos is gonna check various mirror locations in the hopes of finding.
Berta!
Well, I don't think he hoped finding butter, but it's nice to have. In the hopes of finding the ice rod, we know that they won't find the ice rod because it is on the laser bridge.
And thankfully for them, they haven't found the Quake Medallion yet.
Yeah, that is very relieving. Although, might just be like in Checkerboard Cave or here on the K45.
Meanwhile, Boyan and Zero Rush really doing a great gauntlet, really fast execution, losing no time, just going through all the enemies. Nice run from Zero Rush. Boyan soon on to Troll Dome 2.
Just not enough magic to use the powder here. There's a shovel. There's a unique item.
Oh, it's got to be careful. It's getting really bullied now. Only 3
Yeah.
hearts.
Decides to just skip filling up.
But yeah, Boyan has potions, and I'm sure he'll use at least one of them before going to Ganon, because
Yeah.
Ganon with 3 hearts, even if you're a really good player at this game. Anything can happen with the teleports being random. You never know when you'll get hugged. This room also is not the easiest one.
We're make it 4 hearts because Buane decided to pick up that last chest of the game, finding a heart container. And yeah, we did find a red potion in Ice Palace that all runners found. So Buane is probably gonna chuck that one before going into Ganon. Wow, that was a very nice triple there.
And Ilus resigns himself to go back to Turtle Rock, now understanding that the Ice Road was there all along.
Yeah. Luckily, no Quake found on Illus's side, which is a relief.
And with Aghanim 2 being down, it's now time for the Big Pig.
Indeed, that is the case.
Meanwhile, Zero Rush almost onto Troll Dome 2. And Boyan just heading straight inside, not even taking a potion beforehand. Ganon asks us the real questions.
Yeah, shower thoughts. We're on to phase 2 here. And Buane using the hook shot, those invincibility frames that you get when you use the hook shot while it's out, very much to their advantage.
Boyan onto phase 3 already.
Looks like Zero hovered to just skip Molder and 2 here.
Swag strats.
That was a very nice triple here. And very, very much like, yeah. Oh, okay, just barely missed that triple there. But at least this one's kind of...
Boyan managing a double, and Boyan finishing Ganon. Unless he falls to the bridge, that's his race.
And Zero Rush making their thoughts about the seed known, slashing at the bat.
And
Meanwhile,
Boyan, with a
finishes.
time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 17 seconds, finishes first of the race, on stream as well as on the race itself. Chat, send him his GG, your GGs.
And fittingly enough, the Triforce said OMG because that really pretty much encompasses what this seed has been.
Yeah, actually, with how linear but bottlenecked and sending you left and right this seed was, 139 is actually a really great time.
Yeah, it was given how trolly the seed was and how much it required. Pretty good time, yeah, very respectable.
Meanwhile, Zero Rush now on his phase 3 of Ganon.
And it looks like Linkforce is thinking about what to do now, while Gillis making their way to Laser Bridge here. Oh, and Zero Rush, of course, not having picked up the Silver Arrows, is going to have to do Silver less. Gets a Torch Glitch with the Fire Rod, which is actually pretty tough to do. So kudos for that one. That is actually pretty cool that we see that one.
Yeah, missing it would be really difficult for him because he doesn't have half magic, and Silverless really taking a lot of time. 12 hits with the same way he's doing right now. Yeah, that just shows how good Zero Rush is, just getting this Torch Glitch out of the bat.
Yeah. Of course, none of the other runners are going to be having to deal with this because all of them picked up Silver Arrows. And down goes the pig on Zero Rush's end here. GG to him. Apparently he found the Mirror Shield somewhere.
Yeah, but Silverless went as smoothly as possible.
And it looks like we're going to have Blaine here in a post-game chit-chat. Meanwhile, Illos takes down Trenix, picks up their, I think, 6th crystal. No, 7th crystal, actually. So we'll make their way over to Ganon's Tower. While Linkforce is opening up Treble Rock. And it's going to find a mirror very shortly. Hello there, Buane. GG.
Hey everybody, GG, thank you.
Congratulations on taking on first in the race as well as on the release stream.
Yeah, I gotta admit it's a little surprising after how poorly this one started, but I'll take it.
Well, it was a very bizarre scene. That much is for certain. Yeah, that was a lot of very weird item strings here. Pendant Eastern being required for the green pendant there.
Yeah, I did early on doing Agina very early for the flippers, which led to the gloves. And I was saying at the time to myself, wouldn't it be funny if there's just something sitting required in Eastern, and everybody who put off Agina goes and gets it, and I miss out on it? And that's exactly what happened.
Well,
funnily, what happened is that most of the runners went straight for Agina. Zero Rush went quite some time after, but all of your 4 runners on stream went to Eastern as the last possible location.
Okay, so it was
also,
even then. All right, good.
Indeed. We're also joined by Zero Rush. Hi, Zero.
Hello, Zero
Hey,
Rush.
how's it going?
GG's to you.
Yeah, good games.
So, your thoughts on this seed?
Very frustrating. The seed itself is okay, but I kept last locationing everything. Anyone who went into Eastern early got boots really early. Anyone who went to Agana before Zora got silvers. So I fake flippered and got nothing, and then last location Eastern.
Yeah, Eastern as the last location. That's all we saw on stream. Everyone leaving this green pendant behind. But the rest of the seed was also, as Leonard, frustrating. Going to East Death Mountain to then go to Hera, and then just hopping from location to location.
Yeah, the interesting thing was I was thinking after Hera the entire time, maybe I should just go to Spike Cave while I'm here. But Mitsura and Hera anyway, so I didn't need to. But that would have saved me an Ice Palace full clear probably. But a lot of backtracking, and then I accidentally mirrored out in Turtle Rock on Laser Bridge. Well, I shouldn't say accidentally, I did it on purpose, but that's because I'm stupid.
So, what were your thoughts about the vanilla powder after you fake powdered?
Well, I mean, you know, that was amusing, but I'd rather that happen than me turn into mushroom and then find powder years later.
I'm glad to know that
And then
that happened to somebody else too.
Yeah.
I think everybody did it on stream. So
I like the required double dip Eastern Palace pendant. That was kind of nice. I actually forgot about that for a while. Like, I went back up and did Spiral Cave, and thinking that was my last possible location, and then got really confused when it was the boomerang, I think, and then remembered that Armos had an item and was the green pendant.
yeah. We were very amused when Armos themselves dropped the bug net. That was something else.
I'm just glad right key was, or big key was finally on right side of GT for once.
Yeah, that was it was pretty early found, luckily. And so far, I think all of the runners that have been to GT here on the stream have gone right side, so that's very good. Actually, Bowain, you seem to be going for Dark Magician strats.
Yeah, I did Stalfos room first into right side. I would not have done full right. I would have mirrored after the 6 right side chests and gone back to the left, but
Right.
didn't have to. I like that route just because it lets you get that right side check no matter what. And if it's something like Rando Room, you're only really like 2 screen transitions behind somebody who didn't do the right side 4 chests. Seems like a good middle of the road GT route for most situations.
Yeah.
I lose a little bit of time, I guess, when it's there on the right side and there's a small key, so that you can go right side. But not too big of a time loss doing that.
So, do you guys want to know where the gold sword was?
I would love to, because I'm assuming it was in Swamp Palace. If we saw it on stream, I'm assuming it was in Swamp Palace.
Almost.
What
It
is
wasn't
it?
Bombos. It wasn't Bombos tablet.
I was thinking about, after that mirror, do I just go and find the ice rod in Swamp Palace? And the fact that there were other mirror spots that would waste my time convinced me, let's just do all of T-Rock here. We probably won't find the ice rod, but I still had Spiral Cave, so I was gonna bomb open the wall after Laser Bridge and mirror and run over mirror right at Spiral Cave and just check that in case that was ice rod.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else did take the mirror bait and go right to Swamp instead of staying for the ice rod, but I could see that being a play.
Illos did, and I think Linkfirst might have as well.
Just
No,
with
actually,
how- with how weird-
not Linkfirst did not. Sorry, my bad. Linkfirst just.
Ilus did, I think.
Yeah, Illos did take the mirror bait and went to clear out Swamp Palace, but Linkfirst fell behind at some point, and that's why I thought he might have. But
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to feel very far behind the way this seed played out, no matter how
Yeah.
you routed it, really.
Yeah.
So I definitely considered the same thing. I imagine amongst the runners who were not restreamed, there were probably quite a few people who grabbed that mirror and went straight to Swamp Palace or something like that. So it's an understandable play.
Yeah.
How afraid or scared were you of finding Quake?
I kind of wanted Quake, considering that Hookshot was the last possible chest for me. So I was saying to myself, if I find Quake, that's probably a play that I will make into Mire. Obviously, once I got the fire out off Sahasrahla, that was not the last possible spot. I still had some of the mid spots left. I think actually really just the Smith stuff for me. But after finding Fire Rod on Sahasrahla, that kind of makes you feel a little bit better about last locationing previous items, because that's going to be pretty close to last possible for everybody. So after that point, maybe it would have been kind of a bummer to find Quake and have to decide whether or not we're going in there. I hadn't checked Pedestal yet at that point, and I had 2 pendants, so Pedestal was kind of in the back of my mind. Hey, that's one more item you get if you go and you finish Mire if we find Quake. But yeah, thankfully, I guess it's probably just
Pedestal
buried
was
somewhere
on the
in
mind
DP.
of many of our viewers. Meanwhile, sorry to interrupt for a second, Eyeless finished in 4th place with a time of 1 hour, 50 minutes and 39 seconds. GG to him.
Indeed, and Link Force is going to make their way to Swamp Palace as their last crystal dungeon. So still a little bit to go for them.
I'm just really glad the Thieves Town play was required, because I was already pretty upset after finding Boots, because I last location Hookshot. And if Fire Rod was also on Death Mountain and Light World, I think I would have lost very handily this race by a lot.
Yeah, so apart, I just realized Eastern Palace, Pendant Eastern Palace, no less, double dip required.
Yep.
How does that make you all feel? Oh, and Illos is here. Sorry. Well, let's put a pin in that. GG Illos, welcome.
GG.
So what's your initial thoughts on this seed?
Nothing I tried out worked out. Like, the only thing that I did well was like clearing Thieves Town, because everything was locked behind that lamp. But I skipped Eastern Palace, got punished, no hookshot and no boots for a while. I went to Port, it was bow locked, and even with Potion Glitch I didn't find anything.
Yeah, Port was a complete dud.
Yeah, and I left Turtle Rock thinking that the Ice Rod might be in Swamp Palace. Usually I would have continued Turtle Rock, but I wanted to make a gamble because I knew I wouldn't win it that way. So that didn't work out as well. At least I found butter.
Yeah, we were really concerned that you would find Quake in Swamp Palace, and that would lead you to do Mire.
I would have so gone to Maya and put the pedestal.
Luckily you didn't. So you also out of the the 4 restream runners, sorry, you were the only one who did take that mirror bait. So a bit unfortunate there.
Yeah, as I said, it's not what I normally would do, but nothing worked out this seed, so I had to take a risk, and that didn't work out as well.
Yeah, it was like a very interesting string of items as well. Though my favorite probably was just Armos Knights being the last location on basically every runner's end here, and Armos Knights themselves having the bugnet. That was just pretty hysterical.
Yeah, that one gave me a good laugh.
Also, you fake powdered, right? How did you feel after picking up the powder, vanilla powder from the witch after fake powdering?
Minus 60 rupees.
Yeah, that was something else. Also, Zerush, you never did pick up the silver arrows. Was that something that you considered still doing after you saw that they were on the ledge?
No, it takes too much time to get back to Zora. If you do Ganon properly with Tempered, Silver's only saves you like 45-ish seconds, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do Ganon properly, unfortunately, but that's my
Well,
fault.
to be fair, you might not have done as well as you could have, but you did get the Torch Clutch with the Fire Rod, which, you know, not an easy feat.
Yeah, I kept trying to squeeze in the early triples instead of just waiting, and ended up missing 3 in a row. So I had, I think, like 2 extra torch cycles, something like that, maybe 1. But yeah, I mean, going back to get them was never on my mind. Maybe if I somehow managed to not find silver or tempered by the time I got out of Ganon's tower, but other than that, it just takes too long to get back there.
Right. I probably would have picked them up if I had found the mirror before checking Catfish, but you didn't, so that wasn't an option either. But yeah, so Link Force picked up their last crystal here and is going to make the climb up to Ganon's tower. We'll be entering that momentarily. So,
I'm curious about something. I consciously skipped Catfish. Did Catfish have Shovel?
No.
Catfish had Ether. Shovel was
in GT.
In GT.
I think it was
Shovel and Cape were in GT.
It was, it was in the room before Moldrum 2, I think, actually, in the refresh room.
Yeah, the only thing I think I'm missing is Quake, Half Magic, and I think Blue Boomerang.
Yeah, we did not see the Blue Boomerang at all this run. We did not see Quake at all either. We did see all 4 bottles, and I think we saw all 3 shields. We saw all 4 swords. Yeah, we saw basically everything except for Blue Boomerang and Quake.
I think the Blue Boomerang was in Swamp.
Yeah, that might have been. Oh yeah, you picked it up, Ilus. That's right. Yeah, okay, so we did see the Blue Boomerang. Right. So only Quake was missing, basically. Right, and Link Force going to enter Ganon's tower here now. Hopefully going to go for right side early on to pick up the big key a bit faster than going for left side, but we'll see. So, how many of you have been nervous about PED being required?
Honestly, the way I was feeling at the point where PED started to become a possibility, I was looking forward to PED being something. Just because I didn't see a good way for me to win if it wasn't. But like I said, the Sahasrahla having Fire Rod kind of got rid of a lot of that anxiety, and from that point forward, I kind of didn't want it to be PED. But I mean, it was pretty. There were a lot of ways that the seed kind of.
Oh no, Link versus gambling on the tile room here.
There were a lot of ways the seed tried to kind of, not necessarily course correct, but even leaving that hook shot for as long as possible in Eastern Palace, you wouldn't have had a fire source for Hera, so you wouldn't have gotten Mitts that first trip up the mountain anyway. Would have had boots, and that would have been nice, but if you had done Spike Cave early, it gives you Bombos. You're probably gonna end up going right to Ice Palace or something like that with that Bombos or something like that, because you're not gonna have the Fire Rod at that point, so T-Rock's not gonna really give you anything. Yeah. So you're still gonna full clear Ice Palace. There were not really too many ways to really luck into the perfect path here. You were doing a lot in this seed, no matter what.
Yeah. Though, regardless of which path you took, it still ended up being somewhat linear, I feel.
Yeah, it was. It was funny when I picked up the bow. I knew, unless there was something on Helmsor, because I'd already been all the way through Pod with the potion glitch. I was immediately thinking, well, that actually unlocks more items in Eastern than it does in Pod. So it was on my mind. I didn't go straight for Eastern or anything like that. But it was definitely, at that point, you're kind of just looking for ways you can win when you know, okay, I've last location 2 major items so far. How can I possibly win this? You start trying to come up with all those various crazy scenarios. And luckily, I guess one of those crazy scenarios kind of played out because it allowed, I don't think I had any crystals we were getting close to 1 hour in and I had 0 crystals. So that's never a very good feeling.
Yeah.
To be able to go from that to, being close to the win or winning, it means the seed definitely has to help out once you get to that kind of situation.
Yeah, I think if Mir was available, a lot more people might have justified going back into Eastern since it had 2 items, but...
Yeah, that was the other part. There was no way to really have... I guess the Galaxy Brain play would be the early Spike Cave for Bombos straight into Turtle Rock for the mirror, and then you can combine Pod and Eastern somewhere down the road. But
though,
Go mode Ice Palace, yeah.
Yeah, you still would have had to full clear, double dip Eastern, and Pod ended up being completely empty as well. So.
Yeah, you'd have to hit 3 or 4 real big gambles right in a row there for that to really work out. So, maybe we put 100 people in this race, someone would have found the way to do that, but sounds pretty unlikely.
For sure, someone would have early TR'd, pieced out, and then go moded every dungeon. And of course, Ice Rod's going to be in Turtle Rock, and then just comboed it with Ganon's Tower like a monster, done in like 120.
Especially with how bad the seed would have been for most people. You would have had everybody searching for some crazy route down the road.
Yeah, when we have a look at you foreigners on stream, none of you going to Eastern before going to Pod. And I think when we see the time of the other racers in the SRL chat, my big guess is that everyone went the Pod route first because of the early Dark World opening. As you say, a seed that was so bad in its routing it had to make you do. Have you already have many such seeds before?
Yeah, I mean, as far as trolliness, I didn't think the seed was too bad. In fact, most seeds are going to kind of end up being somewhat like this in that it's very hard to find the perfect route right through. So you're better off just do as much as you can as efficiently as you can, because all it takes is one really rough location. And if you're trying to be really creative and skip a lot of things, that one trolley location might end up meaning you've got to go back and clean up a lot of the stuff you're leaving around the world. So if there's a reason why, despite everybody leaving the hookshot in Eastern for so long, that nobody else was able to finish earlier is really because there were still so many other troll locations left that it was just going to come down to how have you cleared the rest of the world in the meantime. And if you've done it efficiently, well, then there's no realistic way, like we were talking about, for someone to have figured it all out perfectly. So it ends up just being who did the most efficiently this time. And there are more seeds, I think, like this than there are able to, I finished in 113. So this seems to me more the rule than the exception, seeds like this.
Yeah, I think the only real gamble this seed would have been whether or not to leave Turtle Rock after getting the mirror. I mean, it was trolly, but
yeah,
there wasn't.
I definitely considered it for sure.
Yeah, I think every possible route, logical route that makes any sense would have all converged on the fire route.
because of how this thing went for me. I had such a slow escape that I died in the Modem Cave, and then I took bigger and bigger gambles, and nothing worked out, and it was pretty rough.
It's definitely an option. I strongly considered it. The entire time I was doing the 2 right side chests, I was trying to decide if I was going to go deeper or if I was just going to mirror. And it basically, to me, it seems like a 50-50 at that point. With how many times you probably have run into roadblocks, no matter how you routed, I could see it being a 50-50 for pretty much everybody at that point. There are plenty of seeds where that was going to be the correct play, honestly.
Oh, there's a single arrow. It's in the. For those of you who are interested, the single arrow was in one of the chests in the little Helmosaur room before Moldorm 2. So that was a unique item in its tower. Anyway, so how did you feel when you got the sword start, actually? Because that one's not super common.
It was great. I was thinking I have a match tonight at one of the randomized bots, and it gave us standard Uncle Assured defeat Ganon. And I was like, man, I hope it's sword so I can get some sword practice.
I was actually happy to see it because I like Sword Escape, but then I realized Zero Rush was in here, and I was like, well, he's going to do it faster than me now, so maybe it's not so good.
I probably didn't. I had a pretty awful escape. It was like a 555 or something. It was really bad. I messed up every key guard.
I had a really awful escape. I even paused before the uncle left the house. Like, I didn't know that was possible.
Yeah,
Andy
like
does that all the time. Buffers would start.
Zero and Blaine, both of you actually were like very within a second or so of each other at most, leaving the escape. So,
all right, feels good then.
Right, and Link first is getting to Aghanim 2 here, getting trolled at first wave of balls. Gets a nice double here in the second wave, though.
Oh, that reminds me, I had a really good Aga 2 fight. Like 2 triples. It was really nice.
Yeah, all of the runners that have finished here on the Racing yet had actually really clean and nice Aga 2 fights, so kudos to that one. It was pretty nice. But I forgot what I wanted to ask, so I'm gonna try and remember what it was.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, did the possibility for Aghanim ever cross your mind being required? Because it didn't look all that much, but the hammer did take a while to find.
Yeah, I was thinking with where the gloves were, because I found Flippers so late, that Aghanim might have been required for something on Pyramid, or in Pod, like the front of Pod. But once I found Lantern in Thieves Town, that makes it impossible for that to be in Logic, so it wasn't too long after.
I thought about it because we didn't have a lot of items, and as you said, the hammer took quite a while to find, but we also didn't have like hookshot or anything that would lead us further down a potential dark road, so I was not too worried about Aghanim.
Right, and Link first here, checking the menu and see if picking up that heart piece would give them another container and restore their health. Sadly, not enough, but picks up the fairy there and throws the ball into the pyramid fairy well here. We get to see the Fat Fairy for just a second. It's blue goo. Nice. So, yeah. That was a really bizarre seed, wasn't it?
Yeah, just I want to jump in here. I do have to run, but I want to say GG's to everybody. Zero, Illis, Link Force when he finishes. Good job sticking it out, and to you guys doing the commentary, tracking, and everybody out there still watching. GG's, appreciate it. It was a good race, and I'll catch everybody next time.
All right, GG,
GG,
and thank you
Buane.
for coming by, Buane.
Yeah. good
Congrats
game.
on the win.
Yeah, thanks. See you guys.
See-
See ya.
Bye bye. Right, so and now Link first going to go for Ganon. Sadly, has had a few hugs here, and already on 1.5 pots even. Going to do burner strats here.
Yeah, thankfully he received the blue goo from the Fat Fairy, so now he's again at full health. He's gonna have to be careful though. Even with Red Mail, Ganon and his Fire Bats can still hurt a lot.
Yeah. I think it might just be the nerfs after a sea like this, over 2 hours time, and a lot of troll locations. And yeah, I think he might just be nervous and a bit sloppier because of that.
Yeah,
And-
while he starts his phase 4, if you like what you saw today, give these runners a follow. They're putting quite a show. They're brave to let themselves be put on stream. Brought us some really great screenplay, also nice interviews afterwards. So be sure to
Yeah.
send them a follow.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all 4 runners here have done a stellar job, and I mean, given how trolly this seed was in some of the item locations and what was required, and it was pretty much like a spaghetti in how like it was long and linear. So yeah, it was a rough seed. So of course, thank you for to the runners here on the restream, but also the ones that haven't been restreamed for sticking it out. And Linkforce here taking out Ganon, being the final one finishing here on the restream. Just needs to cross the bridge, not fall down there. And it's GG to him. And manages to not fall off the bridge. That has happened before. So,
Yeah, he seemed to have forgotten to put his dot down, but yeah, 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 50 something seconds, and he finished this long stretch of a seed. GG to him.
GG to Link first. And looks like they're gonna be jumping in here right now. Also, looks like Zero Rush also had to head out. So I'm gonna thank him here. GG's to him. Right. Oh, looks like there's some technical difficulties for Link Force. That's why they can't dot down here. But we know it's about 2 hours and 11 minutes and some change. Right. Hello, Link Force. GG to you.
GG. Sorry.
So, your thoughts on this seed?
I thought it was overall good for me. But I probably just went to too many places and checked too many things.
Yeah, about that. Actually, for most of the game, you had the same stroke of bad luck as the other runners. Almost everyone ended up in Eastern Palace as a last resort, having checked everything else. That was quite crazy to see on all of you. Everyone going first to Pod, and then at the end, okay, where can I go now? Where is my progression? Oh,
Yeah.
damn, Eastern. How did you feel at that moment when you got your hook shot?
I felt dumb because I could have gone there a long time ago. But For me, I was glad I got the lamp in Thieves Town before like everything else, because I literally can't do like the Eastern Dark Room is probably the only dark room I can do without lamp, but I need lamp.
And also, it put you on the track that what you were doing now, going to Pod and Eastern, was also full in logic. So what the game also expects from you, right?
Yeah, and I was hoping Mir would show up soon so I could go to Pod and then Mir to Eastern and then do that, because I got the bow like I got the bow in Super Bunny Cave, which was basically when I just did Hera, but I had no mirror, so I couldn't go to Pod then mirror to Eastern, so I had to take the long way around.
So now the big question: how did you feel when you went on your second Eastern Palace dip, and you beat Armos, and all you get is the bugnet?
Oh, I felt sad, but then I turned in the green pendant and saw a fire rod, and I'm like, well, I didn't do this for nothing, so.
Well, I imagine maybe you wanted to set that bugnet on fire with that fire rod.
No, because sometimes I'll actually catch fairies. But the Pyramid Fairy had blue potions, so I didn't have to.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Did you do the fake powder?
No, I did not do fake powder. I got
Right,
the vanilla powder.
Yeah. Okay. So all of the other runners did fake powder and then found themselves without magic, but having to pick up the powder.
Ah.
Yeah, that was pretty cute. So what other question? We never found Quake, but was that always like kind of looming in the back of your head that yeah.
Did anyone check pedestal?
Sadly
No.
not.
Okay.
No, nobody pulled or checked the pedestal, but we do know that it was only cash on. So
Okay. And did anyone find half magic?
no, nobody on the stream sadly found
Okay.
found them.
Because that would have helped going up TR. No, not TR. Going up GT.
Yeah, the only items we haven't seen were Quake, Half Magic, and yeah, that's it. We did see the gold sword was on Bomb's tablet, and the blue
Okay.
boomerang was in Swamp Palace. So
Okay. Yeah. I'm just glad I didn't have to check all swamp. I'm glad I didn't dip out of TR once I got the mirror. I'm glad I didn't do that.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, some of the people did take that gamble.
some, yeah. The one on the restream who did is actually in here with us. So Illis took the bait and mirrored out after finding that in TR. Sadly, did not pay off. Yeah.
Yeah, overall, I thought this was this is still a good time for me. Low 2 hours is still good.
Yeah, I'm glad you're satisfied with your run. So it was like a very trolly seed and very I called it like a spaghetti, like long and linear. Yeah, it was very bizarre in a lot of ways. So like even the first place runner 1 hour 40 minutes and some change. So you know that it was a long seed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely a respectable time. 2 hours and 11 minutes. So congratulations on that one. GG's.
Thank you.
So unless anybody else has any more comments, I guess we could start wrapping it up here.
Well, it was said before, but I want to say it again. Thank you for the restream and for commentating.
Yeah.
You guys seem to be on daily duty and stuff, and I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you again.
Thanks
for the kind words.
Yeah, thank you very much. since the fall tournament has so many volunteers, I've decided that that daily needs some love too. So, right. With that said, thank you to all the runners, as both on Restream and the ones that aren't, for such an excellent race. GG's to all of you. Congratulations on your placements. Right. Also, thank you very much to, of course, the Restreamer and the SG Network for hosting these daily races. Thank you very much to our trackers for today, Michael K. and Ex-Country Guy. Without you, we would be lost in the woods. And also, of course, thank you very much to my co-commentator today, Julian. It was a lot of fun.
Indeed. Thank you also, Red RMR, for being my co-commentator. Just last words before we wrap this up for all of you viewers that are interested in some more link to the past randomizer action for today. At 5:20 p.m. EST, we have on Speed Gaming 3 Azazaz against Lanxion for a Ganon Standard and Coda Short hard mode. Then on Speed Gaming 4 at 6:30, we'll have Itsuan 1337 against Quizball, Ganon Inverted Randomized Normal. And 8:30 p.m. we have two games, one on ALTTP Randomizer, one on Speed Gaming, P-Train against Lanxion, as well as Liam Atlas against 1up40, as well as other games coming later up. Feel free to check the Speed Gaming website to check the full schedule. A lot of Zelda action with the tournament at this moment. Yeah.
Yes. However, one thing that is to note here is, for one, that first fall tournament at 5:20, that's about 1 hour from now. So, if you can pull out, there's a Super Mario Odyssey tournament going on, Darkest Side, over on Speed Gaming 1. So you can, fill that gap if you want to check out the next fall tournament. However, what's also noteworthy is at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're gonna have a Super Metroid Link to the Past Randomizer combo community race going on over on Speed Gaming 2. That also is very exciting. It's also surrounded by the fall tournament, but I really recommend, if you've ever seen the SM ALTTP combo randomizer, check that out. That is really cool to watch.
Yeah, especially if you like to try to follow the logic and guess where items could be. Combining these two games together makes it a really, really crazy thing to watch.
Exactly. Right, with that said, thank you all for watching. Of course, without you viewers, we couldn't do what we're doing. So, hats off to you. And, right, I think that's about it for us today. We're gonna see you at, I think is there a 9 p.m. daily today?
Yes, but not restreamed.
Ah, right. Okay, so no restream for the 9 p.m. daily, but that's okay. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for the next daily, right? So stay tuned for more randomizer, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, good evening.